Welcome back, everyone, to Doubleheader Weekly Picks of Amir and Keenan Costain. Man, what the season is flying by. Week 6 is over. Week 7 is almost here. In this episode, it's going to be a few surprises and a few revenge games. Who's going to get a three cheers? Who's going to get a boo you stink? Stay tuned, everybody. All right, here we are. We reviewed Week 6 and reviewed Week 7. So, I got to say, well, I'm, I, I was impressed and surprised at the same time, as usual.
Yeah, definitely a surprising week for sure. Um, and when it comes to our records, uh, we have a surprise for our viewing audience as well, and as for our listeners on Spotify.
Oh yeah, and we improved last week as well, and we're being the 500 in terms of our records. As for the bingo
Definitely.
board, I did better this week. It's a little bit smaller than I thought.
Oh,
Let's
can you
see.
guys make up that better? Can you make a little slideshow?
Yep. So let's see here. Do this. There you go. So I had B. John Robinson scoring twice. AJ Brown finding the end zone his first game back. Mark Andrews finding the end zone, and Sam Laporta scoring. Drake May throwing his first touchdown pass in the pros, and Spencer Rattler throwing two interceptions.
Hmm. A lot of check marks and some X's, but hey, solid job, Amir. And we apologize for the on-air production, folks. If you're listening to us on Spotify, we apologize for that.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, that's we're still learning as we get through this podcast. As for a few of the X's, I was so close. DeAndre and JK and who else? And yeah, JK, yeah, Job there is. They were close to 100 yards. If they just given the ball a few more times, they would have got it, and I would have gotten that, crossed that off. And then Mike McCartney, well, McCarthy. He wasn't a punching bag. Well, by JJ Jaguar Gator 9, but the Cowboys, on the other hand, that's another story. First, we're going to start
I'm
with across the
surprised that
pond. Huh?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Mike McCarthy wasn't a punching bag this week or this past
Well,
week rather.
well, at least not my JJ Gator Jaguar Gator 9, but national media, well, they weren't so kind to Mr. McCarthy and his team and Big D. But before we go into Big D, let's go to London, England, across the pond, where the Bears took on the Jaguars. And gotta say, well done, Bears.
Absolutely. So our predicted scores were 27 points for Chicago and Jacksonville, 17 for Amir, and I had 21 to 14 Kansas City, and the actual score for this game was 35-16. Um, I was able to catch a little bit of this game Sunday morning, and Uh, I'll just ask you this: Jaguars are now one and five. Uh, do they keep rolling at what they got?
Well, now they're going to keep rolling with Trevor Lawrence. Although probably not. He's definitely not the problem in Jacksonville. I would say their defense has been a suspect this year because of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Trevor Lawrence actually looked pretty solid stat wise. I don't have the stats up in front of me, but as I mean, I was able to see a few snaps. He looked good. It's just receivers had trouble catching the ball as well, as far as I know.
Well, no, Evan Ingram, he went over 100 yards receiving. Welcome back to the lineup by Mr. Ingram. And Gabe Davis found the end zone twice. So he gets the Chuck Howley Award for one of our few that are going to hand out today. But as for the Jaguars, when they got to the locker room, they heard this. Yep, Mr. Ramsey was in town. Well, not physically, but this wasn't his home country. And yeah, that's not going to get you a seat at Hell's Kitchen. But as for the Bears,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of horse and whistles go around. Of course, y'all following it's the 40th anniversary for Thomas on television. And here's three whistles go to Cole Komet, 5 receptions, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ian Allen, also 5 catches, 41 yards. Found the end zone twice. Yeah, Williams, 23 for 29, 26. Four intercept, well, four touchdowns, excuse me. Did have a pick, but overcame it. And DeAndre Swift, 17 carries, 91 yards in a score. So Bears offense has been hitting its stride the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been they're looking like a contender for sure. If they can just keep up the pace that they're doing, they'll be just fine.
And they're starting to live up to their off-season hype. It was shaky the first 3 weeks of the season, but the last 3 weeks it's shaping up. They're playing like contenders.
Hmm.
Yep. And,
Oh,
and they've won four in a
well,
row in the process.
definitely.
Anyway, moving on from the game in London, let's move on to our 1 o'clock slate of NFL action. We start off at Gillette Stadium between the Texans and the Patriots.
Well, folks, our predicted scores was right again. Our 24 or not predicted scores, excuse me, but our predicted scores for this game was 24-10 for me. Texans for 27-7 for Amir. And actual score for this game was 41 Texans in the 21 for New England. Um, I think we were in the right ballpark predicting the score.
Yeah, I had the Texans winning by 20, which they did, albeit my predicted score was different from the actual score. But having said that, I knew that it was going to be a one-sided affair, but the Patriots did make a fight. That being said, Mr. Will Anderson, you had a big day, sir. 3 sacks, and and also had a pass deflection that resulted in an interception. Joe Mixon, 19 carries, $102 in the score. Also had two receptions for 30 yards and also score, so gives him two on in the game. And C.J. Stroud, 192 yards passing, not impressive, but three touchdown passes. That's pretty good, and that deserve you guys get a. That was there we go. Yep. Well, three cheers for the Texans. So it's just Mixon, Anderson, and Stroud. Big day at Foxborough Stadium. And excuse me for clicking on the wrong audio um, file, but anyway, definitely deserves three cheers. As for the Patriots, Mr. Drake May did throw two interceptions, but threw three touchdown passes, including his first one in the pros. Keep the game a little more, keep the Patriots in the game, but fortunately it was not enough, and as a result, oh, you stink! Yeah, not enough to get you guys over back in the win column. So yeah, five straight losses for the Patriots, which results in a "boo, you stink" from the fans. Yeah, apologies for having
Yeah,
the wrong file, folks.
yep, all good, and I'll make an edit. I'll make an edit for that for sure for you, Amir. So, yeah, uh, "Brew you stink" and a hip hip hooray. I mean, what can you say, right? I mean, Texans look good, 5-1 on the year. CJ Stroud doing his thing. Patriots, uh, still need to find something. And I'll ask this question again: what do the Patriots do from here, Amir?
Well, they moved on from Brissett to Drake May, and well, Drake May was far from the problem in this game. It was the Texans' defense, the Patriots' defense, in their own line. They couldn't protect their quarterback. I mean, they allowed Will Anderson to get him to thrice, and they gave up 41 points on defense. Didn't help that they had a short field to defend as well.
Hmm. Definitely, and Drake May looked actually pretty solid for his first starting debut, but I think he's going to be an overall pretty solid quarterback in the NFL. I hope that lives up to expectations. But as I'm making a note here for the slide itself, um, but yeah, that's all I got. Nothing really to say much about this game in general.
Nope, other than the Texans are 5-1 all alone in the AFC South. Patriots dead last in the AFC East. Boy, have the times have changed.
Yeah, if you would ask me if that the Patriots are 1-5 in the year 2024, 5 years ago, or even I want to say 7 to 8 years ago. I thought you'd be crazy.
Yeah, but as I said, the times have changed in the NFL. Let's move on to Baltimore. If I can get my notes right.
Well,
Here
well,
we go.
speaking of change, my goodness.
Yeah, Commanders, quite 4-2. Man, I know you fell 7 points short, but Jaden Daniels had a pretty good game. 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, and showing good sportsmanship, shaking hands with Lamar Jackson in the post game. As for the Ravens, another big day for Mr. Derrick Henry.
Washington brings everyone down. Check, look at how many guys are right here. 2nd and 5. Still face that with power. With Henry for the touchdown. Great call, Tony. His second touchdown of the game.
Yep, 2 touchdowns for King Henry, who finished the day with 24 carries or a buck 32. Including that touchdown you heard courtesy of CBS Sports, Jim Antonio on the call. And also Mark Andrews. He found the end zone first time in 2024.
Well protected. Wide open. Andrews. Now he's targeted. And it goes for a touchdown. Well done.
Yep, well done
Well,
indeed, Tony.
Mr. Henry. Like I said, I keep saying over and over about this team. They've really turned it on as of late, and having Derrick Henry, on their team was a really smart move. And Derek, you must have had a glass of chocolate milk before this game, sir.
Oh yeah, he definitely had he whatever he had to eat or to drink, it worked out. So that deserves a make sure I get the right ones. All right, here it is. Come on, SpongeBob. Yep, hip hip hooray indeed. In Washington, there's no boo you stinks from you guys, but we'll say this Ravens fan, your behavior after the game was not worthy of a cheer. That was a jeer. You got in a fight with two Commander fans after the game, and I have a feeling you won't be going to any events at M&T Bank Stadium for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that's something that I did not hear of whatsoever, and um, I'm surprised we didn't text about that going back and forth the other day, Amir, and yeah, that's some brand news to me, and you hate to talk about that for sure, and as for my side of it, uh, this is a big thumbs down.
Yeah, as for that little unworldly behavior, sir, that deserves a.
Oh, you stink!
Yeah, that's non-funny as in boo. We don't accept that, and it's not acceptable fan behavior.
Yeah. Well, uh, I mean, we're already on to the next slide, so I'm already satisfied with what I say. But um, good job, Ravens, Commanders. Keep it up, and Amir, I'm ready for the next matchup.
Yes, so am I. As we go down to from Maryland to Pennsylvania. Oh, by the way, Ravens have won 4 games in a row, and who would have thought the Commanders would be in front of the Eagles and the Cowboys? But either way, Eagles were down a few players going into the game, or excuse me, welcome back 2 players to the lineup. That being A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
10th play of the drive for the Eagles. 3rd down and 7. Hurts to the end zone. It is A.J. Brown who makes the catch for the Eagles touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yep, A.J. Brown, 6 receptions, buck 16 in that score you just heard, courtesy of Kenny Albert, Fox Sports. And also his teammate, Dante Smith, he also found the end zone, finishing the day with 3 receptions for 64 yards and the go-ahead score that put the Eagles up 20-13. And after that, the defense held the Browns to a field goal, and Eagles came away with the 20-16 victory. That field goal had some heads turning in Cleveland.
Yeah. I was able to watch Jaguar fan nine's video on the Browns decision. It wasn't a dumb decision. It wasn't a dumb decision. I can't remember exactly the video was titled, but I'll go ahead and put it in the link in the description box down below if you want to check that out.
Yeah, speaking of the Browns' special teams, their special teams and defense, well, kept them in this game. And Mr. Rodney McLeod, who used to play for the Eagles, and was also in that Super Bowl championship 7 years ago, well, he had a homecoming for he made his mark in his game back in Philly. So,
Yeah. So
37, it's blocked. Blocked by Miles Garrett. Wow. And it's taken back all the way by the former Eagle, Rodney McLeod. What a turn of events.
yeah, I was able to watch that play on Red Zone, and when I saw that block kick by field goal by Miles Garrett, I was like, this is it. This is the moment for Browns finally get things together, and of course the decision to go for the field goal. But back to my earlier point, it was the in defense of which was the video that Jaguar fan number 9 talked about in one of his latest uploads. And once again, I'll put that in the description box down below.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, and speaking of again back to field goals on the Browns, Rodney McLeod, as I mentioned before, former Eagle, was a part of that Eagles championship team back in 2017. Made his mark in his first game on his return to Philly. But as that game is can return when return events tied the game at 10. But unfortunately, the Browns' offense, or excuse me, wasn't enough for the Browns as their offense, well, was non-existent once again.
So you said the Browns offense was not non-existent.
Yeah, because unfortunately for the sixth game in a row, under 300 yards total offense. Yet no quarterbacks. Sean Watson's not going to get benched anytime soon.
If I'm the Browns, I would probably bench Watson, but with that contract situation, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that contract situation is why he's going to be in the starting lineup unless things really get out of hand. And before I get to a boo, you stink. Well, the Eagles fans, they're want to run Nick Sirianni out of town, and I have something to say about that. You cut the guy some slack. Yeah, I know you won by 4 points, but geez, the guy, what more could you ask for? I know there's a lot of talent. They could have won by more, but you guys are 3-2, and you know what? A lot of teams would say, I'd rather be 3-2 than 1-5. Say the Browns, and also Jalen Hurts, no turnovers, 2 touchdown passes, turnover free.
Yeah,
So, what to complain
yeah,
about Eagles besides that blocked field goal for a touchdown?
huh. Yeah. I mean, we've all heard the stories about Philadelphia fans not being the nicest fans on planet Earth, but come on, guys, like you're 3-2, you're going into week 7, hoping to win again to be 4-2. So I don't know, I don't know what the deal is.
Well, I know the thing is, you guys are 3-2 for AJ, Devontae, and Jalen. You deserve. And for the Browns offense,
Oh, you stink!
and the Eagles fans for booing their coach as well.
Yeah. So, uh, oh man, we have a lot to say about probably these two teams when we get to picking later on in the show. So up
Oh
next we
yeah,
have
We are moving from one team that wears green to another team that wears green. That being the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. And let's see here, Packers. What a performance at home.
Yeah. Excuse me. So the prediction scores, we said 27-20 for the both of us, and the final score was 34-13. Like we said, good, good outing for Green Bay, and I think Jordan Love uh, is he falling back to the player that he was before the injury?
Given that he threw 4 touchdown passes in rainy conditions, I say he's back to his late 2023 self and back from that injury.
I agree. I agree. I doubted him a little bit, but hey, prove me wrong.
Yeah, speaking of welcome backs and proving people wrong, Mr. Christian Watson, I know you've been quiet this season, but he showed up on Sunday, 3 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. As you see here, have the right to celebrate, young man. And also, Mr. Romeo Dobbs, I know you were missed last week's game due to a suspension, but you have had Nate had a what's the word I'm looking for? Something to prove on Sunday.
Four-man rush. Love throws towards the sideline. Diving in. It's Romeo Dobbs with a touchdown.
Mhm. Yep, Mr. Dobbs scored twice, including that diving touchdown reception you heard here over on YouTube and Spotify, courtesy of Kevin Cooler's Fox Sports. Well, of course, the stat line may not won't blow you away. 3 catches for 49 yards, but found the end zone twice. And what a way to bounce back, Romeo.
Absolutely. So that deserves a
Yep,
that
three
makes me
cheers
smile. That
for
makes me
Romeo
smile
and
every
Christian.
time.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. As for the Cardinals, well, yeah, they get an interception, albeit it was due to the wet conditions, and they were able to capitalize on it. But other than that, not much to speak of. Only 100 yards in the second half and 3 points. And as a result, you get a.
Oh, you stink!
Mm,
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Arizona this week. Uh, I thought it was going to be a little bit more competitive. Um, they look they looked good, but not great. This season despite being 2-4, but you know they're they're getting better as a team. So we'll see what happens going forward.
yeah, it's been a rather up and down 2-4 start for the Cardinals, and they had that dominating win over the Rams. Thanks in part to Marvin Harrison Jr. having on his breakout game. Fortunately for him, Mr. Harrison, he left the game with a concussion. Hopefully, he'll be back for Monday night, but more on that in a minute. But then there's games against the Commanders where they got steamrolled, and in case here at Lambeau this past Sunday, where they just basically were not never in the contest.
Yeah. So uh, I think you summed it up well, Amir. So with that, I'm ready for the next matchup, and that would be a two NFC South team, Amir.
Yep, the first of two NFC South matchups, and let's just say you're the road team. You got you're in this. Well, and since it's spinning, they had the little music play in the background because we're talking about the Buccaneers. Well, let's see here, Mr. Buccaneers. It was a big day for you guys, and you hung 51 points in the in the Superdome, including 30. I think it was like 17 unanswered and no 27 unanswered in the second half. If I can find the stats, but I know Mr. Chris Godwin, you found the end zone twice. What am I for this game? this one. There we go. Found it. So yep, 11 receptions, buck 25, and 2 touchdowns, including this one. The Bucks trailing the Saints by 3.
Godwin in motion. Fake it to Irving. Up to Godwin. In space, and he picks up the first down and pinballs his way inside the 40 and off to the races. Chris Godwin's second touchdown of the day. And Tampa Bay is back out in front.
Yep, and after that, it would be all Tampa Bay from there. As I mentioned before, 27 minus the points in the second half as they rolled over New Orleans 51-27.
I mean, it was back and forth for quite some time. I mean, I was getting a little worried that the Saints were going to pull it off, but all of a sudden I saw 51 points up on the board, and Spencer Rattler, if I remember correctly, did pretty well in his debut.
Yes, he did. In fact, he threw a touchdown, actually 2 touchdown passes, and here's audio of his first touchdown in the pros.
The pump, the throw for the lead, a touchdown. It's the first for Bub Means in the NFL.
Yeah, who would have Bub Means on their bingo card? I didn't.
Nope, not me, not me either.
But that's who's receiving in the Spencer Rattler's first career touchdown pass in the pros. And getting back to the Saints, or I know they had a very hot second quarter where they picked up Baker Mayfield thrice, and Mr. Rashid Shaheed kickstarted that second quarter rally with a punt return, 50 yards, or excuse me, 54 yards for a score. But unfortunately, in the second half, Saints were basically nowhere to be seen, and as a result, this is what awaited them at the end of the game.
Oh, you stink!
Yep, boo, you stink. That's Saints fans were not happy when they left the Superdome on Sunday.
Yeah, 2-4 the Saints now. They got off to a pretty good start, but now they're started to slip down the hill. Can they recover?
Well, when I look, to get people are coming in on tomorrow at the time it's recording. Not going to get much easier because a familiar face is going to be in the Superdome. Make that 2, but we'll get into them in a moment. And one last thing for the Buccaneers, and also speaking of bingo cards. Anyone had Sam Tucker on their bingo cards? This man right
Who?
here.
Sam Tucker?
Yep.
Uh, no, I did not have him at all. Not even written down in my notes.
Well, I didn't either, but I have him written down here because I have his stats. 14 carries, a buck 36 in the score. Also caught 3 passes, 56 yards, and also the closing score. So well done for Mr. Sam Tucker. Very good, sir.
Definitely.
So enough about that. So Bucks 4-2. Yeah, with the win, Saints dropped their 4th straight. And as we move on from that game, it goes from the Crescent City to the Music City, where the Colts take on the Titans.
It was a tight one, and I was able to get the score right. But only the margin of victory, excuse me, by 3. Yeah, well done, Colt.
Yes, well done indeed. Thank you. Again, I don't know why I had the 3 cheers on audio flip on here twice, but this is still a learning process for us, folks. Come on, there we go. But as for the Colts, what a way to bounce back from that your let's say your annual black how do I put it, your forgettable day in Jacksonville. Well, losing to Jacksonville, but you corrected the ship against the Titans of late. They've now won 3 in a row against them. After they had a good streak against them earlier in the decade. Speaking of which, you were going in the game. Everyone thought Michael Pittman would be out of the lineup, including yours truly. But late in the game, down 17-13, number 11, I would say made a name for himself.
Pittman just 3 targets, 1 catch. Here they come. Flacco to the end zone. It is caught. Jump ball. Pittman. Touchdown.
Yep, definitely jump ball. Courtesy the called by Sarah Diaz of CBS Sports. Well, Pittman again, not a that's one light up the box score, only 3 catches, 35 yards. But that go ahead touch, that touchdown you just heard, put the Colts in front, and they never looked back as they held on to win 20-17. And also, you know, welcome back, Mr. Josh Dobbs. You caught 7 passes for 66 yards and a score. Your second of the season, both by Joe Flacco, and helped the Colts improve to 3-3 on the season.
And correct me if I'm wrong about Joe Flacco. He threw his first interception of the year this past week, right?
Yep, he did, and his stats again. Not won't let up the stat sheet. Only a buck 89 on 22 completions out of 38 passes, but threw 2 touchdown passes, including the game winning to Pittman. So I will say Flacco was not quite the stats we were looking for, but when we needed him the most, he came through in the clutch.
Yep. So with that being said, what do we got next on tap? Or wait a minute.
But yep, get this. Yep, that deserves 3 cheers, Michael, for that impressive catch. Josh Downs, another impressive catch, and Joe Flacco, that game-winning drive and game-winning touchdown pass. And as for the Titans, I mean, you're off running offense. You're starting to find something there with Tony Pollard, who had 93 yards rushing and scored, which you see here. But Mr. Will Levis, oh, I don't know if it's the man. Boy, you might be things don't improve. You might be heading to the bench. Only 95 yards passing, and as a result of that, that deserves.
Oh, you stink!
From the fans in Nashville.
Yeah. Yep, not looking good if you're uh, Tennessee. And didn't they have a bye week last week?
They did, and unfortunately, it didn't do Will Levis any didn't help him out. Did not help out improve his game rather.
Yep. So with Tennessee, do they go with another quarterback?
I mean, given how Will Levis performed this season, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mason Rudolph is in his next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mason Rudolph, not a bad option. So
No, it's not.
I yep. And up next week we got our next matchup, Amir, because I'm ready to go.
Yep. Let's see. Now all the 1 o'clock games are done from the review. Now we go to the late afternoon slate. This is so we start off in Denver, where it was a one-sided score for a while. The Chargers and the Broncos with the visiting team jumped out to a 20-3 nothing lead. Especially with thanks to efforts to Mr. number 27, J.K. Dobbins.
Disley in motion. Dobbins on the carry. Dobbins coming down. No! They're saying he's in. He just crossed the plane.
Yep, and as if y'all saw the game on CBS with Andrew and Caroline on the call, Dobbins did score from 5 yards out, and initially looked like he didn't cross the plane. He was able to hold the ball over the goal line, and that was enough for the Crystals to get the touchdown signal, which put LA up 23-0. But then the Broncos did make a rally thanks to Troy Franklin, whose touchdown receptions sparked that rally. That unfortunately came up 7 points short, and as a result, Bronco fans were hearing this.
Oh, you stink!
Yeah, close but no cigar for Denver, whose 3-game winning streak came to an end on Sunday.
Well,
Sorry.
8 game, speaking of winning streaks, rather, my 8 game 8-0 winning streak has come to an end. So I am 8-1 according to our record so far.
Yep. And also knows I put 23 to 14 instead of 23 to 16. But either way, Chargers came away with the win. And hats off to J.K. Dobbins, 96 yards rushing, and also Justin Herbert, pretty good stats, 237 yards passing and a touchdown pass. So as a result, for you gentlemen, you deserve a. Come on. Oh yeah, and also stopped your 2 game losing streak and your 5 game losing streak to the Broncos. So 3 cheers all the way around for the LA Chargers this week.
Yep, three cheers indeed. And they're a little above 500 as well, and they're getting. I say they're getting better. So
Yep. So the bye week proved dividends for Justin Herbert, unlike Will Levis, who Bill Justin was a bit shaky this year with some few injuries, passing game not quite clicking in LA, but hopefully it'll start to heat up as the season progresses. But either way, had a pretty clean game in Denver and helped his team win, snap its 2 game losing streak and moving to 2.5 game a game above Denver and 2 games back of Kansas City, who was on a bye week. Was on a bye week this week, excuse me. Congrats to the Chargers. Now we move on to Sin City, where the Raiders and hosted the Steelers, and let's just say there was a quarterback change for the Silver and Black, but based on these results and Antonio Pierce's reaction, not much has changed for the Raiders.
nope, not at all. And um, oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think we had a little glitch on your end, Amir. But back to my point. Yeah, not at all. This doesn't look good. No matter who you put in a quarterback right now for the Las Vegas Raiders, and looking at these scores here, 31-14 for me and 28-17 for you, Amir. And the prediction, or the actual score rather, was 32-13. Pittsburgh up on top.
Yeah, you were pretty close. I mean, Steelers got 32 points and Raiders got 13.
Yeah, I realize that now. Oh, wow, this is the first time I've actually made that connection all week. Because I reviewed the scores so many times, and I just didn't make that connection up until now. And that would have been great to at least get one of them right on the nose.
Yeah, Hopefully, we'll get one of these scores right on the nose one sometime this season. But as for the Steelers, Najee Harris found the end zone for the first time this season and went over 100 yards rushing, +06 to be exact. T.J. Watt, well, didn't get 2 sacks. You forced 2 fumbles, which helped your team contribute to your team's dominating second half performance. And also Dante Jackson, that name sounds familiar. He also had an interception. And Chris Boswell, 4 for 4 in field goals. So, gentlemen, you deserve a. Come on. Yep, 3 cheers for the Steelers, who also had support from their fans. When I was hearing on CBS Sports Radio, there was a lot of Steeler fans in attendance at Allegiant Stadium. And again, they do have a huge fan base, especially on the road.
Yep, as they should. They're 4-2 right now, looking really good to contend for that top spot NFC North or AFC North, or wait,
Yeah,
what?
AFC North.
AFC North. Yep, yep. So watch out, Baltimore for sure. 'Cause Pittsburgh is right on your tail.
Yeah, and who would have thought they'd both be tied for first place this early in the season? And
Not me. I thought it'd be at least maybe with 3 losses on the year, but coach. Coach Mike Tomlin has a few things to say about that.
Oh yeah, he always does. I know it's again he doesn't have the championships like say a certain former head coach in Foxborough, but puts tons of shove. He knows how to build a roster, get the most out of his players, and when at the end of the day he racks up the wins, which is important in coaching in addition to championships.
Hmm. Yep.
And speaking of championships, there we go. Mr. Antonio Pierce, I know you won a championship with the Giants many moons ago as a player, but as for your time in Las Vegas, it won't be raining confetti, but you'll be hearing a lot of this that things don't improve. Oops. Not yet, Cowboys. We'll get to y'all.
Oh,
There
you
we go.
stink!
Don't worry,
Yeah. What
Cowboys.
a t-
Sorry.
yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry, the Cowboys. We'll get to you. But back to the Raiders. Tough, tough going for them. And let's just jump right into it. Because I did not see this coming.
Neither did I. And Cowboys, I don't know what it is. I heard last year you were pretty good at home, went undefeated, and then Green Bay, Mike McCarthy's former team, came into town Wild Card Sunday and bounced you guys, and haven't won at home. Excuse me, at home since. And as a result of that,
Oh, you stink!
yeah,
Huh.
we're
Oh man,
home
they
team.
really stunk. They really stunk. And I keep talking over you. Can you run that by me again?
No, you're right about that. I mean, and that should be 11-0. But anyway, yeah. What's this final score here? Let me turn on the old illustrator. Highlight that.
Yeah, I was able to watch the highlights on the YouTube, and they looked completely lost out there. The Cowboys did. Oh, and I wasn't able to catch the NFC meeting, NFC East meeting with Scooter Magruder. I will after the show though, for sure. And he was definitely not dancing. Definitely not dancing.
No dancing for Scooter, and let's just say the Commanders and the Eagles and the Giants were laughing at Scooter's expense, and also a certain guy from ESPN was laughing at the Cowboy expense. Mr. Stephen A. I think you had a happy Sunday. That rhymes.
Yep, he certainly did have a happy Sunday, and I believe I saw his latest clip of that. Um, I think I actually was able to see maybe two Stephen A. Smith clips of the Dallas Cowboys, but it was a totally different. The other clip that I saw was a totally different thing, but it had to do with Dallas. But that's either here or there. But yep, Stephen A., you are one happy camper uh, this past Sunday.
Yep. Speaking of happy campers, well, there's plenty of cheers to go around for the guys from Motor City, that being the Detroit Lions. I mean, guys scored 47 points. As I see here, if I get my notes up here. I know you're hiding somewhere. Yeah, nope. Is it this one? Not that one. Here we go. Let's see. 3 cheers for David Montgomery, 12 carries, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, 18 for 25, 315, 3 touchdown passes. Jameson Williams, 3 receptions, 76 yards, and a score. And Liam McNeil, 2 sacks. And most importantly, Mr. Brian Branch. Well, I would I'll let my notes do talking, but I think I'll let Dan Miller. I'll give him some love on this show as well.
The gun, the fullback Lipke to his right. Dallas has 3 receivers to the left of the formation. Prescott takes the snap back, looking left, throwing left. It is up for grabs and picked off. Sorry breaks with the interception. BB's got it, and the Lions have it back.
Oh yeah, they have it back, and what's to say they never gave it up. And Mr. Branch had
Oh,
not one but two interceptions in the game, including the one in the end zone that really sealed the Cowboys' fate, and allowed the Lions to never look back as they again won 47-9. And unfortunately, on a more somber note for the Lions, they did lose Aiden Hutchinson to a devastating leg injury in the third quarter.
yep. And I did read up more about that. That's going to be a huge loss for them going forward. And speaking of huge, of huge situations, Jerry Jones, on your birthday, sir, your Cowboys did not show up.
Nope, and that deserves another.
Boo! You stink!
Yeah, that birthday cake did not taste good.
Nope, definitely not. So I'm good. Oh, and we got one more clip.
But I knew that Honolulu Blue birthday cake tasted good for the Lions.
Yep,
Oh
that
yeah,
makes me
three for
smile.
two.
That makes me smile every time, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, plenty of smiles and cheers to go around in the Motor City because you guys earned it. 47-9. You know, I will say again, Aiden Hutchinson, speedy recovery, but hats up to the Lions once again.
And one more thing, we had our prediction scores of 27-23 for me and 30 to 28 for Dallas, and I was not able to get this one correct. And once again, not my fault. I just didn't see this coming whatsoever.
Neither did I. I was expecting a more competitive game at Jerry World or AT&T Stadium. It's been anything but Jerry World for the host team. And speaking of which, Cowboys, you've given up 40 plus points 3 of the last 4 times at home, and your team that's in the offseason said we're all in. Wow, you're 3-3 and winless at home. Uh, I that's not all in.
Not all in at all, and I thought they would play better than this, especially at home because they've been so good the last few seasons. And I mean, do you still ride with Dak Prescott and any more players that can probably help out?
Um, oh, speaking of players, Dak can't do it all, but where's Zeke Elliott been? He signed him back in the offseason over Derrick Henry, and Zeke, you've been MIA.
Yeah, he's been struggling for sure. I now that you mention it, but yeah, I don't know. I just like I said for the Browns and Panthers, I don't know.
Yep, sorry, Panthers. We'll get to you in a moment, but yeah, and also Jerry Jones had a rather confrontational appearance on Dallas Sports Talk Radio, which Jerry, I think your bank account might be a little lighter once word gets to Mr. Goodell in New York. But anywho, we have one more 4 o'clock game to get to, and that's the game in Charlotte, which most of the people in the Carolinas and well, everyone in the Carolinas and Atlanta saw. And what to say, that was, dare I say it, better than the game at Arlington. Although the home fans of Charlotte, well, unfortunately, this is a tune they've been singing to for a long time.
Boo! You stink!
Hmm.
Yeah, for the past 6 years, I might add. Ever since David Tepper came to town, it's been nothing but booze, you stink. And
And
as for
also,
this game, go
sorry,
ahead.
and
Oh,
also
you're fine.
plenty
Oh,
of this from the opposing fan or opposing from Panther opponents.
yeah, and Ethan Howard, if you're listening, I bet you're one happy camper, my friend, because your Falcons won won a game of 38-20, and once again, I was actually pretty dang close on the score
He had the
of
Falcons scoring
30.
38 points, which they did.
Mhm. Right, and I only have the Falcons, excuse me, the Panthers scoring 10 points, and I'll just say this real fast because I don't want to be here all day. But good, good effort for sure by Carolina. I would say.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard, you get the Chuck Howley Award for this game. At least you showed up. But your defense, yeah, they get this.
Oh, you stink!
Yep, and they've been snake bit by injuries ever since the season started. You know, with Derek Brown being gone and Devon Clowney being hurt, and I know I'm forgetting one other guy,
Jack
but
Thompson.
Jack Thompson, uh, another big one. Um, I guess if you're Carolina right now, you got to rely on your offense more than ever, who has struggled last year. Um, but with Andy Dalton driving the bus right now, I feel a little bit more comfortable. But with that, but I want to go back earlier in the fourth where Andy Dalton makes a decision downfield, and right when Mark Sanchez was about to make a point for Andy Dalton, he throws a interception that most likely seals the Panthers' fate for the game in general.
Yeah, speaking of fake Panthers, as you can see, that Falcon fan holding, we're ready for y'all. Well, opposing opponents have been saying that for the past 6 years, and guess what they're ready for? Make sure they keep, make sure this losing streak continues so they can reinstate this man to the lineup. Number 9, Bryce Young. I know we Panther fans don't
Well,
want him back anytime soon, but the opponents and the media, well, well, this team is having going through some tough times, and we want them to continue.
yeah. Hopefully they can. Hopefully, I'm just praying as a Carolina guy, and you too, Amir. We find a way to turn the ship around somewhat. I don't think we're gonna make a drastic run comeback, but I just hope, improvement, which sure was improvement, but on the losing end.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, and speaking of runs, Mr. Tyler Agler and Brian Robinson, for your performances, both combined for 198 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. And by B. John, I had you scoring twice, which you did. You guys deserve a wait for it. Come on. Oh, and speaking of that, there was a lot of old boys or Panther fans trying to rise up in their stadium, but B. John Tyler, you deserve 3 cheers for your performances. For your performances. And I will say the Panthers uniforms were fire, but as I said before, Falcons, you earned the victory, 198 yards on the ground and 320 yards of total offense. And watch out, folks. That Falcons team, they're 4-2, tied with Tampa Bay, and they actually have first place as first year to win 2 weeks ago. So don't sleep on
Yep,
this
with
Falcons
with
squad.
yep, and that was an exciting finish. A couple weeks back, and um, it's gonna be competitive between those two. So I'm looking forward to it. And as for us Carolina fans, Amir and myself, just take a breath because it's gonna be a bumpy ride from here on out.
As I said before, Panther opponents, we're ready for y'all. Ready to add another chapter of misery to this franchise. But for the Falcons, well done. Raheem Morris, you're doing good up down there in Atlanta as well, I should add.
Definitely. So let's get to the 49ers and Seahawks Thursday night matchup. And yeah, just in case you were wondering, folks, we are 12. Amir is 12-0 so far.
Yes, I am. And we'll say at the beginning of the week, got off to a good start with this game in Seattle with the 49ers taking on the Seahawks. And Niners got to a quick lead, 23-3. But then Mr. Chenault The next Panther, let's just say, sparked the Seahawks comeback.
Williams, the two deep men. This one's going to come up short out to the 3-yard line. It's Obispo Chenault. Not across the 20. Looks back inside. 25-30. Breaks a tackle. He's on the run. He's going to 40, 35. Chase. 20, 15, 10. Williams to our hero of the game so far. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Steve
Well,
Rabel.
I
Yeah, sorry, that
well
was
I
not
had a
your end. Yeah, sorry, that was not the best audio clip, but that was Steve Rabel
yeah.
providing the goods once again for the Seahawks Radio Network.
Mm-hmm. So continue.
Yep, so Visca Chenault, that 97 kickoff return you all just could hear barely, that sparked a 21-point comeback that gave them the lead in the fourth quarter, but then Niners took the lead again, and after that, never looked back. Come on.
Williams, the two deep men. This one's going to come up short out to the 3-yard line. It's Obispo Chenault.
Oh,
across the 20.
Wrong audio.
25-30. Breaks a tackle.
That was the wrong one. Okay, that's strange. I thought I had the George Kittle one. Either way, that would have been, well, I'll go do a Brock Purdy one instead. Here we go. Whatever loads.
They ride the mesh point to Mason. Brock going to throw out left wide open. Devo Samuel makes the catch. And now speeding down the sideline 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! San Francisco!
You gotta love that, hearing him say San Francisco. Raider fans are familiar with that. Mr. Greg Papa, he's done radio call for the Niners and the Raiders. Well, he's at it again in Seattle as Brock Purdy. But what a way to bounce back through 3 touchdown passes, and that one from Deebo Samuel, and also 2 to Greg George Kittle, in the clinch in the fourth quarter. Excuse me, my brain does not want to work sometimes. Even the 49ers record of 3-3, and as a result of that, you guys get a and yep, 3 cheers. They didn't say 3 cheers, and they got 3 wins in the season. We thought they'd be at least, I don't know, 5-1 or 6-0 at this point. But either way, this hopefully will spark a win streak for the Niners, who also got contributions from Mr. Malik Mufasa, who for the first secondary interception for San Francisco this season. So, and the defense stepped up in this game, intercepting 2 passes for San Francisco. And as for the Seahawks, who like the Panthers, cool uniforms, but unfortunately, at day's end, this is the result for the fans at Lumen Field.
Oh, you stink!
Yep, 3 losses in a row for Seattle.
Yep, three in a row, three losses in a row. And as for 49er fans, you gotta feel better about yourself now. You're at 500. You recovered quite nicely. Can they keep it up?
Well, that's a good question. Soon we'll answer in our next segment. But before we get to that, got to make that 2 trips to MetLife Stadium, where it's a good day to be a opposing team's fan. As for the host teams, not so much.
Absolutely. And looking at these predictions, 27-14 for me, 31-24 for you. So we both got that one right. And dang, this was an interesting score. 17 for Cincinnati and 7 for New York Giants.
Yeah, low scoring game. I don't think anyone had that coming in, especially how the Bengals defense was performing up to this point. Thinking Giants offense is like night and day, no pun intended, especially with Daniel Jones under center. But I do know right before the Bengals scored that would turn out to be the game-clinching touchdown, courtesy of Mr. Chase Brown, who you have every right to be celebrating in with some Bengal fans at MetLife. They ran a stat on the screen saying the Bengals have never and only won once, scoring 10 points or fewer. And at that moment, this happened. Flip.
Second and 3. Inside Brown. He'll score more than 10. Chase Brown to the house for a Cincinnati touchdown.
Yep. Yeah. Classic announcers jinx. They put that graphic on the screen, and then as soon as that graphic faded, Chase Brown took it into the end zone for the game clinching touchdown. So it's can't make that up.
I was able to see that, and I do recalling that, seeing that on screen, and you know, Brown, Chase Brown, was able to find the end zone and able to prove everybody wrong, or I can't remember what the stat said, but I do remember seeing some sort of stat.
Yeah, they were like 1 in 66 when they scored 10 points or fewer. Well,
That's
that's
right.
going to remain that way, but in a good way for the Bengals as they scored that clinching touchdown, and also the defense. What a way to bounce back! Actually, what an impressive performance! I mean, holding the Giants 7 points, Trey Anderson 2 sacks, and Jermaine Pratt shades of that interception in the 2021 wild card game against the Raiders with another red zone interception that stopped the Giants scoring drive, and that excuse me, that's the one that played earlier. So yeah, Mr. Pratt had 5 tackles in that acrobatic interception, and Mr. Trey Henderson throwing out that showing why you're a perennial Pro Bowler with 2 sacks. And as a result of that, sir, you gentlemen, you get this. Yep, hip hip hooray for the guys from the Queen City and Cincinnati. As for Big Blue, yeah, 7 points. That's not going to get you cheers. It will get you this.
Oh, you stink!
Oh yeah, and unfortunately, uh, New York or any New Jersey fans, we're not done with you guys just yet. But I talked to the Bengals as they as you all had
Definitely.
another primetime game. As got involved in the New York Jets, who were expected to do big things this season, but same old story for the New York for Game Green.
Yeah, a lot of penalties this game. A lot of penalties for sure, and I kind of wish it was. I wish it was. It was. They were able to play it out somewhat, but let's see. Looking at these notes, 27-20 for me, and as for you, Amir, 27-20, and the actual score for this game was 23-20. So still a competitive game, but so many flags, so many yellow yellow ha- yellow hankies on the field.
Oh yeah, and like I said, yeah, we could have gotten the final score correct had it not been for some red zone miscues in the red zone. Yeah, 22 penalties combined for the Bills and Jets, 11 on each side, and also the kicker, Mr. Greg Zerline, who was automatic in with the Rams. Well, you weren't so much with the Jets. You missed not one but 2 field goals that hit the goalpost, and that cost your team points. So that deserves a
Oh, you stink!
yeah, can't miss field goals
Yeah,
and down, especially makeable field goals. These weren't long ones.
yeah, but especially when Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and Bill Belichick are watching.
Oh, yeah, and Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, they're going to comment on that as well.
Definitely, I was able to keep up with the Peyton Manning cast, but it's just disappointing. Just to see field goals like that miss from like what 36, 38 yards out, right?
Yeah, I think it was 33 yards, but yeah, it was in the 30-yard range. And when he missed that field goal, you're a Bills fan, just saying to yourself, okay, we dodged the bullet. Actually, you dodged 3 bullets because at the end of the half, you're up 20-10. Things are looking good, but then Mr. Rogers and Mr. Lazard had something to say.
6 in the secondary. They got the boundaries covered with linebackers. So Rogers is here with 8 seconds to go with his own 48 and a 1st and 10 and the wind at his back. Shotgun snap, 2-man rush. Rogers sets. Looking, moving up, winding up, long arching spiral, thrown down the middle in the end zone. Tipped and caught. Caught. They're going to call a touchdown. He hit the deck. He caught the ball. It's a Jets touchdown. 52-yard Hail Mary.
Kevin Harlan, best in the business.
Yeah, no question about that. Aaron Rodgers at 30, at 40 years old, right? 40 years old, you know, go throwing those bombs for sure.
Oh yeah, he's the king of the Hail Marys because they even showed a highlight reel right before that, and unfortunately, Jair Gator got. Unfortunately, he saw that too and called out the Bills for execution of that play. But I know, speaking of the Bills, I know it was had to sweat it out. People say you can't win the close games. Well, 23-20. Well, let's say that was a close game that worked out in your all's favor. And Mr. Allen, you had a very good game. 215, 2 touchdown passes, no turnovers. Which, oh, by the way, he's gone 6 games without a turnover, which has been a big bugaboo for him throughout his career. Including last year when he had 18 interceptions, and Bills have had trouble at MetLife in the last 2 seasons, including some turnovers in the second half that played a difference in those games. But this time, no turnovers, Mr. Allen, and also so that helped you guys get the victory. And also, Ray Davis, 99 yards rushing, 55 yards receiving. What a way to step up and in place of the injured James Cook, and also Taylor Rapp. Welcome back, sir, for 3 passes. Not the way 3 passes, including this one late in the game that helped set up the game clincher by Mr. Tyrone Johnson. Okay, what's going on here?
Takes off. Breaking tackles, end zone. Touchdown. What a play by Allen, and it is Knox with the touchdown, his first of the year.
Well, either way, yeah, that was Allen to Dawson Knox, and also Rats providing the end zone the first time this season. Dawson, that's 3 tight ends that found the end for the first time in 2024. But getting back to Mr. Tyrone Davis, you were able to make the game clinching interception due to Mr. Mike Williams slipping on the turf in MetLife Stadium that allowed your team to walk away with the victory and end the 2-game losing streak and put you all in sole possession of first place in the AFC East. And as a result, again. Oh yeah, hip hip hooray for those guys in Buffalo, or as they used to say, "Let's go Buffalo." So yep, we'll be singing both of those phrases on the way home and throughout this week. As for the Jets, new coach, better offense, but same results, and also fans in MetLife, home teams. You heard this once again.
Oh, you stink!
Yep, 2 primetime games in MetLife, and the home teams didn't deliver.
Yeah, so a rough outing for sure. But if you're the Jets, 2-4, do you still you try to find something else?
Well, funny you
Oh,
should say
speaking of
that.
that, hold on. Speaking of that, Devontae Adams traded to the Jets, and this was breaking news earlier in the week, folks. And going back to another point, Amari Cooper, no longer a Cleveland Brown. He is with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah. Yep. two receivers who are now interesting enough are going to be playing for the teams that we just discussed, who just played on Monday night, and they've been both are in need. I know Bills are in need some receiver help, at least from a media standpoint, and Jets, I don't know. Monte and Aaron go way back, but will it be enough to turn around your season? We will see. Coming up in our
It's a,
in our next segment. Before we do that, we got to give three cheers to both of us, but we did very good in our picks.
yeah. Three cheers, and without further ado, Amir, let's do it.
You ask, shall receive. Hooray! Oh
There we
yeah,
go.
11 and
Man,
3 for
boy,
you, and undefeated for me. Yep, you were saying.
yeah, I was about to say, let's give, I'm clapping. Yeah, congratulations, my friend. 14 and
Thank you.
0.
Yeah, never had that
Uh,
before.
yeah, in our 8 years of doing this, you know, uh, 7 years on the phone, you're eight of doing picks. This is the first time it's ever happened, and this is the first time for me in quite some time that I finished with an 11-3 record.
Yeah, I mean, it's I was sweating this game out because I was like, man, never had an undefeated record in terms of team to pick to win, but it finally happened, and so I let that in gold. So I'm going to treasure this for a while because yeah, don't see that very often. But I will say hats off to you as well. Well, a bounce back from
Thank you.
last week from I believe you were 5-9. Yeah, 5-9 to 11
Yeah,
and 3 this week. Yep.
yeah, definitely a major improvement for myself, and thank you again, Amir. And like I said, congratulations to you. And my goodness, 14 and 0, and that's not easy to do, folks. That's not easy.
No, it's not. Especially how a game can turn in NFL from game to game, week to week, or play to play.
Definitely. Well, let well, let's see what we got coming up in our week 7 preview with new player with new faces and new places, and that's coming up next on Doubleheader.
Oh yeah. All right, folks, we're back from halftime, and week 6 is in the books. Now we're on the week 7. And we'll begin. Then we're our bye weeks, the Bears and the Cowboys. Bears, you've earned it. Cowboys, you're going to do some soul searching during your bye week.
Yeah, you're not going to the you're not going to the beach anytime soon, Dallas. You better get back to that drawing board ASAP. As for Chicago, I would definitely plan a little a mini vacation for you guys.
London's not a bad place. I mean, we're just there. Heard got plenty of places to see. Big Ben, fish and chips, Randy, Harry Potter, and Thomas were from that country.
Yep, and you're making me hungry with the fish and chips, Amir. You know that's my favorite.
Oh yeah, and Gordon Ramsay has a few restaurants there, so hope y'all have a chance to visit them. Speaking of London, that's where we're beginning with our first slate, and it's going to be between the Patriots and the Jaguars, who both come in with 1-5 records.
Yeah. This one's gonna be, you know, battle of adversity. I think. Uh, man. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Hate to say this. For New England fans, but I think Jacksonville's gonna get this done. I think. I don't know. I'm thinking 24 on my end for sure.
Okay. 7, 4, and also I might add,
What? Yep. And what says you, Amir?
this is going to be a tough one too. Uh, not, I mean, 1-5 is not much to write home about. And who knows, you might see a special appearance by ex-Patriot, now Jaguar Mac Jones, depending how this game plays out on at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hmm, I'm just gonna go with the Jaguars. Just play it safe. Let's say they win it 27-20. It'd be a close one in
Okay,
London.
definitely. And our betting
Also,
odds for this week is
yep.
yep. Our betting
Oh
odds
yeah.
for this week is put yep. Sorry, folks. Betting odds for this week plus 195, and for New England and Jaguars is minus 230. So
Yeah, it should be a good one. And once again, cross the pond. But either way, one team's gonna walk away with their second one. The other one's gonna be doing some more soul searching. So moving on from the game in London, let's move over to the states in the 1 o'clock window. Here we go. And we start off with the game at in Minneapolis between the first place Vikings and defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions.
yep. And I hope the Vikings, were able to rest up pretty good off the bye week, if I'm not mistaken. But
Hmm?
it's gonna be a good one for sure. It's gonna be a good one. Uh, I think it's gonna come down to a Minnesota win, and I'm gonna say, give me 27 for the Vikings and 20 for the Lions. Excuse me.
Yep. Okay. We'll say it. The Vikings. This is a big game for you for many reasons. Because again, Lions defending NFC North champions. Vikings are 4-0, but also the last time they faced off at US Bank Stadium, the Lions walked away with the first ever NFC North Division championship and the first division title overall in 30 years. So that's going to be a motivating factor for the Vikings, and also say, hey, we're undefeated, but media is not quite buying into us. Just a chance to get on their good side. Well, I'm just I don't blame you, Viking fans, but I'm gonna roll with the Lions. I said it's gonna be a high scoring affair, US Bank Stadium. Lions 30, make a scratch at 31, Vikings 28.
Yeah, should be a fun one for sure. I would not be mad if the Lions pull this one out for sure. But looking at the betting odds, Lions plus 115, minus 135. So the Vikings are the favorites going into this game here. So I got nothing else to add, and I believe we are going to go to our next matchup if you're ready to go.
Yep, and I'll say potential game of the week here. And matter of
Yep.
fact, there'll be a lot of game of the week nominees as it going through the schedule. Starting with our next, this could be it, but this will also be on Fox between the Dolphins and the Colts.
Yeah. I maybe, but I just think I think the Colts got this one. I'm gonna say 28 Colts, Dolphins 14.
All right.
Feel really good. Feel really good about them.
Wouldn't blame you, because I know Tua at the moment. I don't know if he'll be back in the lineup, but Mr. Huntley will be in the lineup, and they've had a week off, so he's got to help him get up to speed with the playbook, get more familiar with the offense, create some chemistry with Mr. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So the Colts, well, may look an easy win on paper in terms of quarterback. Can't sleep on these two because they can just turn on the on the Jets at any given time. And I will say, see for the Colts, Pittman and Downs, they did good last week, but we need a lot more production. So if you're all going to win, I need probably about 7+ catches from both Downs and Pittman, and also maybe start Joe Flacco as well. So
Yep.
Colts going to be a nail biter. I think it is. They've had some interesting matchups over the years, but I'll say he pulls it out 27-24.
I like that. I like that analogy or analysis rather with Downs and Pittman. They need to play a lot better. They've been playing good but not great. But like you said, Amir, they got to turn on the Jets here. But don't sleep on the Dolphins either. But I'm gonna say 28-14. Like I reiterate I reiterated earlier, but like I said, could go either way.
Oh yeah, and also I'm gonna have to step up. So I don't not sure Jonathan Taylor's status for this game as well. So
Yeah, we don't know quite yet when it comes to Jonathan Taylor's status, but I'm gonna say he's not gonna give it a go because it's Wednesday and they probably would have said something by now. But on to the next matchup, please.
yep, and sorry I got a little ahead of myself. And speaking of running backs, running back revenge game at MetLife Stadium between the Eagles and the Giants as Saquon Barkley turns takes on his former team.
Yeah, should be a fun one. Should be a fun one indeed. For Saquon and uh Giants. Not looking too good. You know, 4 and 7 points in our review segment. Eagles. I hope they don't say bad stuff about Nick Sirianni. So uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 2021 Eagles and 14 for New York. Why not?
All right, and we'll say both teams have been rather hot and cold. Like the Eagles have a lot of talent, but unfortunately the points haven't been there, and that's why Nick Sirianni's been the punching bag for the media. Giants, it's been how many times have seen this narrative since dating back to the Eli Coughlin days? Good one week, desperate the next, hot the next week, old 1 week later. It's like night and day with this team. You just don't know. It's just, especially
Yeah,
with Daniel Jones on
definitely.
the center.
Hmm.
And also, Mr. Barkley, I know you've been speaking of night and day. You started out pretty hot, but then the last two games, been quiet. Then again, other players have, have stepped up and have stepped up for the Eagles. Having said that, I say your return to MetLife Stadium will end in a victory, but it will be a close one. Who knows? Maybe you'll score the game-winning touchdown. So give me the Eagles 24, Giants 21.
Okay. Well, looking at the betting odds though, plus 145 Giants, minus 170 for Philadelphia. Um, yeah, Eagles are favored. I mean, but the Eagles have been sort of up and down, like you said, Amir. I mean, a lot can happen.
Oh yeah, no, and that's Mr. Tyrone Tracy. 2 weeks ago, he went over 100 yards against Seattle, and that any running back for the Giants has got to be licking their top, saying that, hey, they're saying we're not as good as this guy. Well, I have something to say about that. And also the quarterbacks, Daniel Jones. He can turn on the Jets with his legs, and so can Jalen Hurts. So maybe they can still steal the spotlight at MetLife Stadium this Sunday in a potential game of the week, first of many on this Week 7 slate.
Yep, definitely. I wouldn't doubt that for a second.
Yep, should be going to MetLife Stadium. But moving on, let's go to Atlanta, another potential game of the week nominee here as well.
I would say so, definitely. Falcons look really good right now. Uh, this one's a little tough right now. I'll just read the betting odds right now. Minus 150 for Atlanta, plus 130 for Seattle. Um, hmm. I think
I know it's
Falcons.
tough.
Yeah, I think the Falcons can get it done. What do you think, Amir? Because I can't really pinpoint a score right now.
Yeah, I can't either, but I will say this: if I'm the Seahawks and Falcons defensive coordinators, Aiden Durden and Jimmy Lake, I gotta be saying myself, what can the defense do to slow these offenses down? Because look at the Falcons: Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, Tyler Adler, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, just to name a few. They named playmakers on the offense. Seattle with Kenneth Walker, Geno Smith, DJ Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. You know, it's You gotta say to yourself, man, how we game plan for these guys? What can we do to stop them? Well,
Yeah,
I will say this: get some turnovers. That will help out.
definitely. An all-star receiving core, that's for sure. And Amir, I'll let you go first on this one because I'm still thinking about what my score is going to be.
I'll play it safe. I'll just say Atlanta wins it. I say win it in. They'll go to overtime once again. They'll win it 34-28.
Yeah, they've done well in close games, and I would have to agree. And I'm gonna say 34-28 overtime as well. Should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Again, another game of the week nominee. Man, we've had. I don't think it's the first time I've ever said that's all season. We're only 7 weeks in. But then again, a lot of options here.
Yep, and definitely for sure. So on to our next matchup, we got let's see. Okay, Texans and Packers are up next. So both five. One team is 5-1, and Packers 4-2. Texans being 5-1. Excuse me. Uh, oh man, this is another tough one because Texans look super good. Packers look super good. Uh, Amir, what do you think?
Well, same case with the Seahawks Falcons game. One defensive coordinators, Matt Burke and Jeff, if I say your name right, yeah, Jeff Heffley. Hope I got your last name right. You got to say to yourself, how are we going to stop these offenses? I mean, Texans got Joe Mixon, C.J. Stroud, oh, Tank Dell, and hopefully he'll be back in the lineup. Nico Collins, yeah, no, I think he might be back, but I know he's dealing with an injury. Anyway, I mean, you got to deal with that. And then Packers got Jordan Love, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs, what is his name? Tucker Croft. There it is. Tucker Kraft. There it is. A lot of weapons to do, a lot of playmakers to game plan for. But if you're going to win the game, got to get some turnovers. So I'm going to go with the home team, the Packers. I say they can pull it off. I say they win 27-24 over Houston.
Yeah, I was leaning towards the Packers myself, and I'm gonna pick a different score though. I'm gonna say 27 to 20 Green Bay.
All right.
And as for the betting odds, Packers minus 150, Texans plus 130. So pretty close odds, I would say, if I'm not mistaken. So please correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it definitely close. I mean, again, winning records. Jim and Tony will be on call for CBS. A lot of playmakers on offense. It's at Lambeau as well. And I also should mention Stephon Diggs. That was the other guy I was trying to think of. He's got some history at Lambeau. I mean, he played for the Vikings for early in his career. So, again, another guy to game plan for. But again, defenses, I'd say turnovers is going to be the key in this game as well as the one at Mercedes-Benz City. I mean, in Atlanta, Georgia. So, having said all that, move on to our next game, and I see a familiar face wearing a different uniform.
Yeah. Uh, familiar face. I can't really figure it out at the moment, but oh man, I'm drawing a huge blank, Amir. So uh, feel free to feel free to say it.
Yes. So, Mr. Amari Cooper, you're no stranger to being traded mid-season.
Oh, oh man. Oh, I even said that in our review segment. Oh man, I I feel so dumbfounded now. But oh, that's not the first time I've done that, folks, on the show. So, but Amari Cooper for sure. I just that's that's the way my brain works sometimes. So forgive me for that. But oh man, so Amari Cooper, your first time in Buffalo, is he going to get playing time? Perhaps.
Well, I do know one thing: the Bills' offense is I know it won't be sleepwalking or go AWOL on like the Browns offense. So if you forgot that Amari Cooper played for the Browns, wouldn't blame you because, like I said, Browns offense has been MIA for 99% of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was best for Amari Cooper to get out of there, in my opinion. It hurts if you're a Cleveland fan, but um, yeah, I just think with the score though, I think the Bills got this one wrapped up quickly but surely. Give me 31, Buffalo 7 for Tennessee. I just don't think. I think it's gonna be one of those games where you say to yourself, "Oh, it's over by the second quarter." I think
Well, hopefully, because I do know, I mean, the Titans have been competitive and outside of, in all their games. Just their quarterback
that's
hasn't been holding them back.
that's true, but I think Buffalo right now, adding Amari Cooper is gonna gonna add that spark that they're possibly missing.
It should, and also Bills. If you want to win this game going away, well, like I said, Josh Allen, you haven't put the ball in harm's way as much this year as you did last year. So keep the ball, throw it to guys wearing the Bills uniforms, not the guys from Tennessee. And that's and if you do that, Bills should have this game should be well in their favor by the fourth quarter. As for the Titans, Lovis, your seat's getting very hot in Nashville. And I wouldn't be surprised to hear that Mason Rudolph will be taking snaps in this game, assuming that it will be a one-sided affair in favor of the Bills. So I'm got my score here. Yeah, 30-10.
All right, so pretty close to my score. So for the Bills, minus 450 for them, betting odds wise, and the Titans plus 360. So a pretty big gap. Excuse me.
I would agree, due in large part to Mr. Number 8, who was fist bumping with number 11. And again, if you don't step it up, you will be fist bumping number 11, but it won't be kind of a bittersweet one, a lukewarm one, rather. Anywho, moving on from Orchard Park to across the border to Ohio, where will be the battle for Ohio, the Bengals and the Browns. Should be
Well,
interesting, rivalry
maybe.
wise. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Well, looking at these odds, minus minus 275 for Cincinnati and for Cleveland plus 225. Um, I just don't see Cleveland Browns getting anywhere anytime soon. Uh, if I had to throw a dart and see if it sticks, 24 for Cincinnati and 7 for Cleveland.
I wouldn't blame it 'cause the Browns' offense, like I said in our previous segment, that just again nowhere to be seen. Hence why they got a boo you stink. Well, dang, they've been getting a boo you stink all season. I will say this: Browns have played the Bengals tough. In fact, they've owned Jack Taylor since he's been their head coach. And keep in mind, the Browns defense has kept them in every game. They haven't been blown out. Well, except for the opening day against Dallas, which seems like a lifetime ago, given how the Cowboys have been playing, especially on defense. Having said that, I wouldn't be surprised this score will be is closer than people think, especially when in the Bengals corner. But I'd say the Browns will keep it close, but not close enough. Cincinnati wins the Cleveland edition of the Battle Ohio 23 to 14.
Yeah, but it should be an interesting sight if you're in the Ohio area. And correct me if I'm wrong, Cleveland does have home field advantage, right?
Yes, yes, they do. Yep, it'll be at um, I don't know what they call it now. Is it First Energy Stadium? Yeah, First Energy Stadium.
Yeah, but
But,
I just I mean if you're Kevin Stefanski, I'd be a little concerned right now because this game could probably define your season as a coach, sir.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because speaking of trades, Browns, you trade up for Mr. Jerry Judy in the offseason, and well, unfortunately, due to the Browns' offense, he's been MIA as well. So, Jerry, you might, since Amari Cooper is no longer in Cleveland, now's your time to step up. And guess who have his competition? Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I really think Cincinnati can turn it around. They have a good quarterback in Joe Burrow. He's been looking better as of late, which is nice to see. That duo that you just mentioned, Chase
T. Higgins.
and T Higgins. But I'm gonna make a prediction on my bingo card that Burrow throws about about 200 yards.
All right. That's a possibility. I mean, Jalen for 264, so doing yards passing plus is not a picture with Joe Burrow against the Browns.
Yeah. So if I know we have a Amir's bingo card up on screen 99.9% of the time, but if I had to even though I don't make a lot of predictions on the show, despite the scoring wise, I think I should step up my game a little bit on that front. But maybe that'll come and in a future episode.
Well, since you brought up bingo cards, I know people are gonna big week for bingo cards because again, a lot of game of the weeks, a lot of revenge games, including the one right here, Battle of Ohio. So, and fantasy owners as well. This is not going to be a big week as we move into
Hmm.
the late afternoon stretch. Speaking of fantasy owners, if I have any Commanders offensive playmakers in your fantasy lineup, I would start him. Start start him. I don't care who he is, a receiver, running back, third string, fourth string, rookie, whatever. I'd start him. Panthers defense can't stop anybody. Like Panthers can't stop. Panthers general can't stop anybody.
Yeah, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if this game's close. Um, Commanders look super good right now. Sleepers.
Well, I wouldn't sleep on this Commanders team. Because Mr. Jaden Daniels, you're the front runner
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Although Caleb Williams is starting to make a name for himself.
So feel free to give your score out on the mirror, and because I'm still trying to piece it together. I know, shocking, right?
Well, and unfortunately, it's well, Anders. I'm gonna say you win this one, 31-10. I'll be a little nice to the Panthers. Well, maybe not. And speaking of Panthers or ex-Panthers, Mr. Frankie Louvu, you're facing your former team. I know you're going to ball out in this game. I say give him 2 sacks, and an interception, and a fumble. Heck, even a touchdown to
Yeah,
boot.
yeah. Oh, that breaks my heart so much for if you're a Panthers fan, seeing Frankie Loup on the other side of the bridge. But I thought about it, man, while you were talking. Oh, give me 34-14, Commanders. Sorry.
No,
I
it's
shouldn't be. I shouldn't be sorry. I should not be sorry. Actually, who's me? So
no, no one's feeling sorry for the Panthers, especially the guy who owns the team, because it just feels like it's been people singing "Stop Playing Games in My Heart" since he's been their owner.
well, real quick. Betting odds here: Commanders minus 380 and Panthers plus 300. So if you're looking for some sort of miracle run and want to go with Carolina, Be my guest. Best of luck to you.
I yeah, I say good luck to you as well. I mean, I say in good hands with Sergeant Chuba Hubbard and how this game plays out. If you have any maybe someone on the Panthers offense, but if you want to start anybody on the Commanders, by all means, have at it. Especially
I'm
anyone in
glad
the
we,
running
we
game.
yep, and I'm glad we got through that segment as quick as we did. So I'm ready.
Yep, this will also be a 4:05 kickoff on CBS, so we get a game on Fox, which I hope you do in Charlotte. But anyway, we'll move on to Inglewood, where the Rams, last time we checked, you had a close game, but no cigar, and the Raiders, well, it's been any but Hollywood finish for you guys in 2024.
Yeah. The Raiders have been kind of up and down in the Rams. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Oh man. So this
I'm
is
feeling more
another
better
tough
about the
one.
Rams in this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. So oh, I don't know. Give me Rams 21, Raiders 14. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I see the Rams will win it. I won't say going away, but I say they win a more wider margin. They'll win 27-13.
All right. Well, looking at the betting odds real fast, minus 320 for the Rams and plus 260 for the Raiders. Um, yeah. I'm surprised the Rams are 1-4, right? That's gotta be
Yep.
right.
Yeah, they had a bye week last week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew that. I just want to make sure that record was correct. I just want to double check with you because you made this presentation and as always, well done on that. But yeah, um, feel free to put whatever you have down for this game.
Well, for the Raiders, it's I know Aiden O'Connell's going to be taking the snaps under center at SoFi Stadium, unlike Gardner Minshew week one. 'Cause remember, they Chargers played in that stadium. As for the Rams, you had the better team on paper because you won a Super Bowl on this field, gosh, 3 seasons ago. I feel like another lifetime ago as well. So that's why I give the nod to the Rams. They should win this game, but then again, it's the NFL, anything can happen. So moving on from this other game that's going to be in the 4 or 5 window, going to the defending Super Bowl champions. Make that 2 time because it'll be a Super Bowl rematch
Ooh.
in the Rams and
This
the
should
Rams,
be
each in the 49ers. Excuse me.
Yeah, this should be fun. Oh my goodness, this should be fun. Oh, I got chills. I got chills just thinking about it. But I got these two teams facing one another later on this year. Oh man. I'm gonna go all in on this one. I'm gonna say the 49ers get it done, but 27-24.
Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't blame you there because the Niners and both times they face up in the Super Bowl, including the one this past January in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, they had the lead. Unfortunately, when dust or when the confetti fell down, it was the guys from Kansas City hosting Lombardi Trophy, while Mr. Shanahan and his Niners were left with their tail between their legs. But that's not going to be the case this time because you guys got to start winning, got revenge on your mind. I know it's a regular season game, but what have you? It's 28-24. And I will say the Chiefs offense will start to get it running. And I will say I hope to see Travis Kelsey and George Kittle battle it out because tight ends day, National Tight Ends Day is fast approaching, and I know both of them want to show off in this game.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And Travis Kelsey's been quiet. I just, I mean, maybe this matchup will wake him up.
Well, he did have a week off to get hitting to reset the batteries. So hopefully this will be the game he breaks out. In losing that for our case. And check out the betting odds. I've never seen this before. Dang, I don't bet on games. But look at where they have the Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs. Let me say this: 49ers minus 120, and Chiefs even.
Yep, you read that right, folks. You said that right, Keenan. And that is, if you go on ESPN right now, of course, that might change between now and the times the video is uploaded. You heard that right. Chiefs have even in their betting odds, according to ESPN.com. Yeah, I've never seen that
Yeah,
before.
yeah, but I don't think I have seen that in quite some time either. I've looked at betting odds in the past, but I don't think I've seen that in quite some time. So that's all I'm going to say on the matter. But this should be fun. I'm looking forward to this game for sure. Should be widely entertaining for sure.
Definitely. And also, it's going to be 425 on Fox. So it'll be available to all Fox affiliates across the country, which I say smart move by the schedule makers because I don't think anyone's going to pay attention to what's going on in FedEx Field or SoFi Stadium unless you're a Brown Commanders fan.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to tune into this game. That's for sure. I'm definitely tuning in.
Same here. Yet another potential game of the week nominee. And speaking of which, we got another one. Starting the game tomorrow night at the Caesars Superdome, where Mr. Sean Payton makes his homecoming, where he won a Super Bowl championship with Mr. Drew Brees, who will be in the house and honored at halftime.
Another one.
Beg pardon?
Another one.
Yep, another one. Yep. Like I said, a lot of revenge games, a lot of game of the weeks. And got fancy owners, betting odds, tailgaters that like big games, want to get a lot of points. This is the week for you guys because there's so many interesting storylines for a lot of these games in going to week 7 of the 2024 NFL season. I haven't seen this in a long time, maybe back to week 2 of 2017, where there were several coaching revenge games.
Yeah, it has been a while for sure. I don't really have a score quite yet, so Amir, I'll let you go first.
And I will say, man, okay, for the Sean Payton and the Broncos, well, mostly Sean Payton, you got a lot to prove because like won a lot of games in New Orleans. Big knock on you when many coaches not named Bill Belichick is that you didn't win enough championships. And yeah, it didn't really end too well in New Orleans. The team may miss the playoffs by one game. So it's ushering the Dennis Allen era, which has been, how do I put it, mediocre signs of success at best. Speaking of Mr. Allen, yeah, your team's right in a 4-game losing streak after a 2-0 start. And yeah, this is the last thing you needed to have. I mean, you needed to see the guy, your predecessor, on the other sideline on prime time, no less. So, also gonna be a blackout in New Orleans as well. We're all black. But unfortunately, I say the Broncos are going to spoil the party. Saints, Broncos 27, Saints 24.
Well, looking at the odds here, Broncos minus 25, Saints plus 125. Saints have kind of struggled as of late. Denver's been sort of quiet, sort of
Another
in the
one.
middle. Um, I'm gonna say Denver wins it 27 to 27 to 17 actually.
17, okay. I mean, since you're right, I mean, I know Saints fans, they are got a very bad taste in their mouths. I mean, this is now a 4-game losing streak. Their team gave up 51 points at home and were shut out 27-0 in the second half against the Bucks this past Sunday. Fortunately, I don't think that bad taste is going to be leaving anytime soon. But then again, anything can happen. So, John Payton, hope your return to Bayou ends in a victory. And having said all that, let's move on to our next primetime game. We return to the Steel City, where the visitors have a new addition.
Yep, Devontae Adams, like I mentioned, folks. Now with the New York Jets, um, this should be fun. I would say.
Yeah, it should be a fun game. And I heard Russell Wilson might get, well, excuse me, he's healthy. I will should expect to see Justin Fields under center for the Sunday night matchup. But if he were to struggle, we expect to see Russell Wilson be trusting the lineup as well. As for the Jets, got a new receiver, but can you overcome, I don't know, beating yourself?
Yeah, that's really important because they really beaten themselves last week. With all those penalties. Um, but man, if they can just ha- play the right way, that being New York, that'll be just fine. But I'm gonna be on the safe side of this one and pick Pittsburgh Steelers winning this one, 27 to 20 once again. Like I said in the last Jets prediction, rather.
Yeah, despite the new addition, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I mean, it should be. I mean, both of them have good defenses, but I say the Steelers defense, they make the game-winning play, and I say T.J. Watt will contribute to that, or I'll say he'll have 2 sacks in the game and maybe an interception.
Hmm. Yep, I like that prediction. So the betting odds is plus minus 130. Jets plus 110 for the Steelers. So feel free to put some money down.
Oh yeah,
But we're gonna wrap this up real quick and go to our next one.
yep. And it's going on to Monday night where you get 2 games for the price of one. Our slogan for this podcast. And we start off in the current sombrero between the Bucks and the Ravens. Excuse me, where Baker Mayfield takes on Lamar Jackson, class of 2018.
Yeah, I would say this should be a fun one, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this knocked out of the way. Ravens win it 24, 24-21. Uh, Justin Tucker rather will be the game winner, game winning field goal. Excuse me.
Okay. I know the last time they met on Monday Night Football, that was, gosh, 4 years ago during that crazy COVID season, and probably definitely the best game of that season, where the Browns took on the Ravens in Cleveland, and looked like the Browns had it won, but then Lamar Jackson came out of the locker room, came on the field, threw the game tying touchdown pass, and then Tucker pulled out the game winning field goal, or kicked the game winning field goal, excuse me. And I don't expect Lamar to get injured and come off the bench to do it, but either way, he will engineer a game winning drive and lead Baltimore to victory 31, 31, 31 to 28, excuse me, as I'm speaking.
Yeah. So so you're saying that's gonna be a game winning field goal by Justin Tucker as well?
More game winning touchdown pass by Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I see. I totally missed that part. So, real quick, uh, betting odds: Buccaneers plus 160, minus 190 for the Ravens. So feel free.
Oh,
So
yeah,
without
again.
further ado,
Oh, sorry.
hmm?
Oh,
Oh, go
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to
Go
talk
ahead.
over you. I don't know why I keep doing
No,
that.
no,
Yeah,
I keep doing it too. So yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, look at all the weapons they have. Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, oh yeah, Sean Tucker, Zay Flowers. I mean, of course, got Lamar and Baker. So I expect a lot of points in this game and a close game at that. Again, another game
yeah.
of the week nominee. Look how many can't get better than this.
No, you can't. So we have one more to go. Chargers and at Cardinals here. I'm gonna say Chargers gets it done 24-21. No. 24-17. I'm gonna be a little bit more, a little more like that.
I don't know what Cardinals team we're gonna get, but I see the Chargers
Yeah.
are a better team on paper, and J.K. Dobbins, I've beaten the ball. Give the ball to J.K. Then Justin Herbert. eh, I know he's gonna have to pass the ball, and he's gonna put the ball in the air. I mean, he's not gonna either way, it's going to be. I expect the J.K. Dobbins dominate game, but the Chargers want to win and keep Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. on the sidelines. Get these words in my mouth, but I'd say they win it 27-10.
27-10. Wow. What a score.
Yep.
For most of these games, Amir, I think we have most of them being very close games, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, again, a lot of game of the week nominees here. I mean, and like I said, revenge games as well.
So, real quick before we wrap up, what is your prediction for this week?
Let's see. We got 15 games in the slate. Dude, the Bears and Cowboys being on their bye. That would I'd say I'd say 12-3.
I'm gonna be on the safe side and go 11-4 for myself.
11-4. Okay.
It, yep. So if you find like a little slot to put our records down somewhere, yep, that will do just fine. So
Or predicted records, I should say.
yeah, yeah. So 11-4 for me, 12-3 for you. I like it.
So do I.
So with that being said, we're done, folks. We're done with picks. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like what you see, give us a like, subscribe down below for more. Follow us on Instagram at Doubleheader97, on Spotify at Doubleheader Podcast. Feel free to check out our works website down below. And as always, have a good one.
Yep. Take care, folks.